Hey there, and welcome to my laser review of the new Dungeons & Dragons movie called Honor Among Thieves. Truth be told, it's not out yet, but I was checking my Regal app and they had this sneak preview showing, and only one showing for the day at 2 p.m. So I grabbed my kid and I was like, you know what, why not? Because the trailer did look interesting, and yeah, I think the last Dungeons & Dragons movie came out like 20 some odd years ago, and nobody talked about it because it was fucking dog shit.
Dookie!
Okay, it stars Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez. I'm doing my review with some good old Mountain Dew, zero sugar of course, and trying something a little bit different. I got a new bottle here that's $6 because we're all on a budget, but it's Mr. Boston Sour Apple Schnapps. So Dungeons & Dragons, what do I think? Should you check it out? What's the marketing and shit? It's, I had to look at the budget, and the budget is $150 million. Sometimes you can see it, sometimes you can't, but anyway, before I get into it, I'm just opening this stuff out. Let's try some sour apple with Mountain Dew. What can go wrong, right? Let's check this out. Yeah.
It tastes so good.
Before we do my intro, I have to say off the bat that some people may have looked at the marketing and were kind of turned off by this film, and I want to talk about that after I do my review, because unfortunately, we live in the age of Hollywood, and it seems like the past 10 years, a lot of male characters just get shit on to boost up female characters. But the writing team did come out a few weeks back and they were like, hey guys, listen, we do emasculate male characters. Some of the male characters aren't always heroic, but that adds to the tension and the drama and also the comedy of the film. So they said, we swear to God that it's not about being woke, it's just how we wrote these characters. And I'm watching thinking to myself that are they being true to their word or are they just blowing smoke? So I'll let you know in a second. And if you're ready, let's start my intro and drink some more of this delicious Mountain Dew and sour apple. Enjoy. He's tried, it's pretty good. Okay, what's going on? Should you see this film, and does it shit on men? So we have Chris Pine playing a bard, and his name is Edgin, and he's a bard, pretty simple. So I can forgive it where he doesn't have a lot of action scenes, but truth be told, there is action scenes there, and when he does have to fight, he does fight. He's not some bumbling clown, and his best friend is Michelle Rodriguez, who plays a character called Olga. She's a berserker, warrior type, and I can forgive this because, guys, if you play fantasy, and even over the weekend I was playing the Diablo 4 beta, you can create female barbarians and female warrior types, so it's not a big deal. The actress Sophia Lillis, she plays Doric, and Doric is a druid. If you've seen the trailers, she can shapeshift into different animals and like this owlbear creature and funny things like a deer, a hawk, and all kinds of things. Justice Smith is Simon, and he's a wizard. Not the best wizard by any means, but, to his credit, as the movie progresses, he does get a lot better. The short version is they're thieves, but they are thieves with a code. They have an honor system, which is probably the whole honor among thieves, right? And Hugh Grant is their friend called Forge. The short version is he backstabs them, and now Forge has Edgin's daughter and he wants his daughter back. That's pretty much it. It's a simple heist of getting his daughter back. It's not complicated by any means. The CGI is hit or miss, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it's cool looking with the transformations. Sometimes the dragons are kind of weird looking, so it's whatever. And I will say that the pacing is kind of spotty sometimes. It's hit or miss, and the runtime is 2 hours and 20 minutes, and no bullshit, sometimes you feel it. Some jokes go on longer than I think they should, and some just scenes, there's like too much dialogue that isn't necessary. So I would feel like overall, if they shaved a good 15, maybe 20 minutes, they'd be okay. But to their credit though, when the fight scenes do happen, the fight scenes are very well choreographed. I mean, I don't get the sense that Michelle Rodriguez being Holga, that she wasn't able to handle herself, because I looked up that Michelle Rodriguez did gain 15 pounds of muscle for this movie, and it shows. Because don't worry, boys and girls, this isn't Natalie Portman in Thor 4. The main selling point for this is obviously Chris Pine being the lead, and if you've seen the trailers, the comedy aspect.
I make plans.
You've already made the plan, so...
If the existing plan fails, I make a new plan.
So you make plans that fail.
Because we caught a sneak preview showing at 2 p.m., it wasn't sold out, but I would say it's about 80% capacity. And no lie, myself, my son, and the entire audience were laughing their asses off. Like, this is a really good comedy slash fantasy slash action. I would actually rate this as a comedy first, then a fantasy film, if you can believe it. I really laughed a lot harder than I expected going into this. Chris Pine has great comedy timing, and he plays this bard very well, and truth be told, I think he owns most of the comedy in this film. In terms of emasculate male characters, I didn't get that at all because, again, he's a bard, not a combat specialist. Simon is a wizard. Wizards aren't known for being big combat types, so Holga does what she does. And there are some male side characters. I won't spoil too much, but there's a paladin character. This fucker kicks ass, believe me. Overall, did I like it? Should you guys see it? How do I feel about it? It's not something I would recommend rushing out to go see right now, but I will categorize this as a very good matinee film. Or in my area, Regal Cinema have $6 tickets on Tuesdays, which I think this is perfect for. Not a complicated plot by any means, not overly complex. The characters are not overly complex. The ending, you can see the ending coming a mile away. It's predictable as fuck, but sometimes that's all we need. So overall, I did have a good time, and I would recommend, as a matinee, I would recommend seeing Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. Okay? So don't worry about the whole marketing and shitting on the male characters. If this was made 10, 15, 20 years ago and Chris Pine was playing the exact same character, you wouldn't fucking notice. And as I was talking about before, people are so scared now with the whole political messaging and how Hollywood and writers and directors start just purposely shitting on male characters. I get why some people are hesitant to see this but no, truth be told, Chris Pine did a fucking excellent job, and I didn't feel at all this was some like man-bashing movie, and we don't have to shit on the male characters to raise the female characters up. If you see it, let me know, comment, and we'll talk about it. I'm going to check my watch, get to editing, and tell you guys about my job.
I hate my job!
Let me grab Bender, and let's finish this. You ready?
This calls for a drink.
I am liking this, okay? I have to head back to work.